Have we ever truly thought about who stands behind the world's major economic crises, wars, or peace negotiations? Beyond the leaders we see on camera and the states mentioned in headlines, could there be other actors operating behind the scenes? What if certain families, like an invisible hand, quietly shape the course of history? Could such power come from money alone, or would it require knowledge, patience, and long-term planning? This story is about a family that shaped the world step by step, not only with capital, but with information, international connections, and strategies spanning generations, the Rothschilds. This silent, yet deeply impactful story begins in the 16th century, in a narrow and crowded street in Frankfurt, Germany. At the time, Jews were forced to live outside the main parts of cities, in areas known as Judengasse. There was poverty, but there was also hope. Houses had no numbers, each was identified by a symbol. One house, marked with a red shield sign, stood at the center of this story. This symbol, meaning red shield, would centuries later become a name associated with Europe's financial destiny. The family's fate changed with Mayer Amschel Rothschild, born in 1744. He lost his father at a young age, but what he inherited was not wealth, but knowledge and connections. He became skilled in currency exchange and antique coin trading. His intelligence soon caught the attention of one of the most powerful aristocrats of the era, Prince Wilhelm of Hesse, and he became his financial advisor. This relationship was the beginning of everything. Mayer Rothschild did not see banking as a simple family business. By sending his 5 sons to different capitals across Europe, he created an unprecedented network. Frankfurt, London, Paris, Vienna, and Naples. Each brother was powerful in his own region, yet all worked toward a single goal. Information moved quickly, securely, and in coded form. In many cases, the outcome of a war or the financial collapse of a government reached the Rothschild table before it reached that government itself. This made them not just bankers, but financial strategists operating behind the scenes. In the 19th century, when European governments faced financial crises, the first door they knocked on was the Rothschilds. Kings, emperors, the papacy, and even the Ottoman Empire borrowed from them. Wars were financed and peace was purchased with these loans. The family was no longer just an economic force, but a political one. In the final century of the Ottoman Empire, this influence became even more visible. Weakened both militarily and financially against industrialized Europe, the empire needed foreign capital for reforms and wars. Rothschild banks stood at the center of this process. Loans brought not only money, but control and dependency. Railways, mines, and major infrastructure projects were also shaped by capital connected to the family. These relationships deepened the empire's financial fragility. The Rothschilds did not limit themselves to banking. They invested in strategic sectors such as wine, energy, mining, and diamonds. From the Suez Canal to Baku oil fields, from South African diamonds to major mining corporations, they held influence across critical resources. For them, wealth was not just money, but power positioned strategically in the right place at the right time. Of course, like all empires, this dynasty eventually began to crack. In the 20th century, family branches weakened. Enormous losses were suffered during the Nazi era, and assets were confiscated. After the war, only the British branch remained fully intact. Over time, the family became quieter and more invisible. Today, no one knows the true size of the Rothschild fortune. They no longer appear at the top of official wealth rankings.